But it is noon here in the Pacific time zone, 3 o'clock Eastern, and this is something that I hope to be doing practically on a daily basis here. The times are so crazy, so wild. Just thought it might be nice if we had a time every day that we could set aside and just connect and see what's going on and all those kinds of things to enable us to stay more connected in a crazy time. Because this is the first day that I'm doing this. Hey, Ken, good to see you. First day that I'm doing this on a daily basis. A couple ground rules so everybody knows we've said this from the start. And one of the first ground rules is we're not here to talk about politics. Okay? Michael Travis, watch it on Periscope. Sheila, good to see you. We're going to talk about ways to stay more connected. We're going to talk about ways to improve what we're doing in life and in business, all of those things. But this is not a thing to talk about politics, other than to hope that our political figures, wherever you are in the world, most of us, of course, here in the United States, they do the right thing and get the people help who need it and go from there. So, all right, we're good with that? I hope. No, I don't think anybody's saying, gosh, what we really need more of is more political discussion right now. Let's talk about some other things just for that. Colin, how not to gain 100 pounds during quarantine. Oh, no kidding. Have you seen there's a hashtag, I'm trying to think a thread on Twitter, and it's talking about the hashtag quarantine 15. if I make it out of this just 15, I'm happy. It's Tammy just this morning when she got in the pantry to get some cereal, looked over at the pantry and went, "What happened to the Oreos?" And I blamed it on the dog. So there you go. Corona bot instead. I love that, Lauren. That's great. Corona bot instead. Yes. I think that's what I'm getting at. So, hey, and Michael watching in Nashville. Appreciate that on Periscope. Part of what I'm doing here, and we'll appreciate your feedback or anything on that. Oh, thanks, Colin. I appreciate that. Colin writes that your comment on the abundance we have here being shown by everyone gaining weight by staying in was so spot on. I appreciate that. You know, we take so many things for granted. And then here we are, in our homes kind of locked down, and we're all gaining weight. It's crazy. Sheila, good to see you, VC. Great. Yeah, no politics is fantastic. Good. I appreciate that. Yeah, And we have gotten to the point too where it seems like people can't disagree without being disagreeable. That it seems like if we disagree, and I'm talking about both sides here, that we have to point at each other. And I'm doing a video at some point, which is hi Joy, good to see you. I'm doing a video here at some point, and it's going to be that. Chevy would never try to sell their cars by saying, if you drive a Ford, you're an idiot. Because that wouldn't motivate Ford buyers to become Chevy buyers. And some Chevy buyers would be offended by the directness of that. But yet somehow we think in politics that if we call the other side an idiot, no matter what side you're on, I'm not, maybe they'll change their mind or see the area. It's just, we've got to get back to being able to have disagreements without making the other person into an idiot. Nelia, I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Nelia, it's great to see you. Thank you for saying hi, and thank you for being here. Enjoy. Great to see you as always. So anyway, part of what I want to try to do here is to talk about some of the things that that we might be able to do to help us deal with some of the challenges that we're facing, and just to kind of stay more connected and more together on all that. This is on several different platforms at once. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Periscope, through Twitter. And I'm starting a new internet radio station, and I'll be posting more things about that. But we're live on that as well. You can hear it on your Alexa. So in case you don't want to be sitting watching on Facebook, you can get on Alexa and you can hear this live as well on internet radio while you're doing other things if you'd like to. So anyway, that's what today is about. Oh, hey John, yes, you bet. For Jackson, old Indiana REMC acquaintance, I appreciate that. I would say long time acquaintance, not old. How's that? We'll agree there. It is the mark of an educated man to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Absolutely. That Aristotle guy knew what he was doing. The only person that has better quotes than Aristotle is Anonymous, who wrote a lot of great quotes. Anyway, I say that in my speech. So everyone, it's Colin, the level of this sounds so highfalutin to say it this way, but the level of discourse in our country, the level of conversation in our country has certainly declined, and that's one of the things. Maybe as we go through this crisis together, I hope that's not being naive or overly optimistic, but maybe as we go through this crisis together, that we can, learn some things and feel a little bit more connected with people who disagree with us. That's for sure. Well, hey, thank you everybody checking in, and if you have any resources that you'd like to share on some of the things that we could be doing to get along a little better. By the way. The other ground rule I meant to mention at the beginning is no selling. This is a no sales zone. We shouldn't be trying to sell each other, products or services. And I'm not going to be trying to sell you anything that I've got, anything I talk about here. I mean, look, I've got books. I'd love for you to buy the books. I'd love for you to download the Audible and listen to it, or as you're home, maybe doing some more reading. Of course, I would like that, but I'm not going to be here trying to pitch that to you. One thing I will talk about, though, is if you go to distinctionnation.com, Distinction Nation is one word.com, there is a program there. It is a 14-day audio program on what you can do to kind of align your priorities and your commitments and what you're going to do. And now would be a great time to kind of work through that course, and it's absolutely free. So I'm not trying to sell you on buying it. It's absolutely free. Just go to distinctionnation.com, sign up. It'd be one of those things to go through. And that was one of the things I wanted to talk about today, too, is that one of the great things, it's making lemonade out of the lemons that we have here. But one of the things perhaps that we could do is to use this time as a way to grow our knowledge, to grow our learning, to grow our, to learn more. It might be about something that relates to your business. It might be something that relates to you personally. And I get no kickback from this. I get no return on this. I love what they do. And that's Masterclass. You can learn comedy from Steve Martin. You can learn writing from Malcolm Gladwell. You can, I haven't seen them yet, but there's things on how to play poker. Colin, you'd love that. There are programs on how to cook, how to write songs. It doesn't necessarily have to be about your business, but something to expand our minds as opposed to plopping on the couch and watching hours and hours of Netflix. Now, don't get me wrong. Tammy and I have been doing a binge. Remember the old TV show, The West Wing? There you go, Colin. That's a great masterclass. And one I want to watch while I'm here more. So one of the things that gives you a chance to do is not only watch all this great new content, but to go back and see some things that you may have forgotten or that you didn't see when it was out. Tammy and I started watching The West Wing, and man, you talk about a smartly written TV show. So it's just terrific. So it's something. One I think she and I would highly recommend is The West Wing. If you're looking for something to binge on Netflix, Martin Sheen is just incredible, and it's great. But by the way, what are you binging? I'd ask everybody to share that with the group here. What are you binging as you're watching television? And did you see where Netflix and YouTube TV have agreed? I know in Europe, I think they're doing it here in the United States as well, to reduce their bandwidth, or to cut back on the quality of the programming so that it won't mess up the internet, because now all of us are sitting watching Netflix, all night long. So again, technology, it's crazy. It's just so great. So anyway, back to the main message, which is this is a great time for learning. It's a great time for us to sign up for a course. It doesn't have to be a paid course, but just something where you can learn. But one of the things that's really critical is both mental and physical movement during this time where we're all stuck here and stuck together. Here's what I mean by that. Physical movement, we understand. I mean, we ought to, stretch or if it's safe in your neighborhood to walk around the block. I mean, safe in terms of distancing and all that. Go for a jog. Get on a bike. Do something. I'm starting today. I have been bad about doing that, and I am starting here a little bit later on today. So the point is, we know we need that physical movement just to keep going. Tony Robbins has often said, motion creates emotion. And so if we're not moving, then part of the challenge is that we kind of become static and our emotions decline because we're not moving. So we need the physical movement. I also want to suggest, though, that we need mental movement. When we are faced with a situation where we have more downtime than normal, part of what can happen then, not only, we don't move as much physically, so our attitude declines, but we aren't thinking as much, or we're worrying too much. And as we worry, then what happens? Well, it declines. Our emotions decline, our motivation declines, all of that goes down. So what I want to encourage you to do is make sure that you move around a little bit, make sure that you don't become that couch potato that we all are probably doing to an increasing level, but nonetheless that we can control. But also, what are you going to learn? How are you going to use this time to learn something that you might not have known? Colin says, MIT and Yale are offering free courses, all Ivy League schools. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. Including Harvard and Yale are offering online classes free. You can attend Harvard for free. Why would we turn that down? Right? I mean, think about it. Why would we say no? It just made me think. There's a great line in a Jim Rohn presentation where he said, could you imagine if you discovered gold and there's more gold than you knew what to do with, and you went to tell a friend, hey, get a shovel, come over, there's gold here, and your friend said, do you know what shovels cost these days? Can I borrow your shovel? Right? I mean, wouldn't you get a shovel to go get the gold? But yet we have all of this information around us, all of this education, a chance, as Kathy says, go to Harvard, go to Yale, Colin, MIT. I mean, holy cow. The chance to learn all of this probably transcends our need to sit in front of the TV for one. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sitting in front of the TV. I'm catching up on some great shows. But that can't be the only thing that we do, right? I mean, it's like if every meal that you ate was exactly the same, at some point, even though you might, I love a filet. But could you imagine if filet was all you had every meal? I mean, after a while, you'd go, could we get some chicken tonight, right, or something? So the thing is, we have to do the variance. Hey, Jim Cathcart, good to see you. 8 p.m. is the official time to change from the day pajamas to the night pajamas. Oh, that's great. Jim, I had missed that. That is a great, Catherine, what a great line. That is awful. That's awesome. When you change from your day pajamas to your night pajamas. So, yeah, all right. Yeah, and by the way, and Jim, I've heard you say this. You and I have talked about this before, is that one of the other things that we can do is when we get up in the morning, to get dressed like we're going to the office, or to get dressed like we're going to work, or not just stay in our pajamas all day long. Move around a little bit, stretch your mind a little bit, read things you wouldn't ordinarily read, maybe watch something you wouldn't ordinarily watch. It's just this great opportunity that's been, don't get me wrong, this is a challenging time. And, I get it, because my whole income, my whole livelihood has been based on you show up at a meeting and you do your presentation. I got so many buddies in the music business, particularly in Nashville, that their whole income is based on getting on a stage and performing for the audience. And our income's gone. I mean, this is zero, basically. So I get it. It is a difficult, challenging, stressful time. But I can't control that. What I can control is what I do and how I approach it. And so the chance to stretch your mind and attend a Harvard course, or the chance to download the program I was telling you about just to help set your goals for the coming year. There are so many incredible resources out there that now is the time to take advantage of that. And that comes down to self-discipline. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. So I'm going to be here every day for about 15 minutes from 3 to 3:15, noon to 12:15. And we may be longer depending on how many questions or the audience that we develop over the period of time. But it really means a lot that you took time today to watch this. And if you get a chance, if you'd like to share it on social media, that'd be great as well. But thank you for watching, and I look forward to talking to you again here this time tomorrow.